Welcome back. Today we're starting with day 1 in the book, Prepare to Answer the Call. And the book starts off with a testimony of a friend of mine and how she discovered the call of God on her life. But I'm not going to work through the book in that way. We're just going to take each topic and pull out some of the particular points there and discuss that. And then each week you will have homework to do, which will be the questions at the end of each topic. And we're going to cover several topics at a time, and you'll be able to answer the questions and really start to understand God's leading in your life in a new way. So when we're preparing to answer the call, it's a challenging time, because when the call of God comes to us, it's usually something way bigger than we could have imagined. And we're going to talk more about that in Discovering God's Will. But the call of God is a costly thing. It will cost you time and effort and commitment, and there'll be all kinds of challenges involved. But it also is a wonderful thing to be called by God, because then you have a genuine purpose for your life. Then you know why you're here on this earth, which a lot of people don't have that sense of purpose, and therefore they really struggle. So it's a privilege and a joy to have that wonderful sense of purpose in your life, because you belong to the Lord and He has called you to be His servant and His child. It's a high calling. It's a privilege and a joy, but it comes with a cost and a challenge. And the pathway of the Spirit-filled life will take you to many crossroads. And every time you come to a crossroad in your life, the challenge will be, do I go God's way or my way? And the challenge will always be the same. Is it God's way or my way? And sometimes you're going to struggle with that. Sometimes it won't be an easy decision to make. Sometimes you'll make the decision to go God's way and others won't understand. And that's really hard, especially if it's family who don't understand. And it's really important to maintain your relationships with family members as best you can. So be a peacemaker. But being a peacemaker doesn't mean that you just agree with everyone and allow others to dictate to you. You must make the choice, and you will make the choices dependent upon what the Holy Spirit is saying to you and your desire to obey God rather than man. But be gracious about it. Even if others don't understand, you don't have to be haughty about it. You can be gracious in the way that you explain things to them. And so it's true that God has sometimes called people to long times of intercession or long hours in the Word, and other people just don't understand that. And that's okay. Jesus was misunderstood many, many times. So be at peace in yourself, knowing that it's all right if other people don't understand. You just need to keep your heart at peace and obey the Lord with joy and with love in your heart, and He will help it to work out for your good. I thought I would give you a little testimony of one time when God called me to do something and I really struggled with it. In fact, I got very upset, very angry. And that was when my husband at the time was in Bible college, and he came home one day and told me that God was calling him to be a missionary in New Guinea. Now, we had 3 very young children, and I really did not want to go to New Guinea. I knew it was a very hot place. The climate just wasn't good for me, and it was one place I had never wanted to go. And so I got very upset about it, and I ran out to the car and jumped in the car and drove up the street feeling very cranky and upset and saying, it's not fair. That's the one place I never wanted to go. And the voice of God, very soft little whisper in my heart, the Holy Spirit said, wouldn't you do it for me? And I just crumbled. I pulled the car to the side of the road and burst into tears, actually. And I said, oh, yes, Lord, if that's what you really want, I will go to New Guinea. And so I went home very sheepishly and walked in the door, and, my husband wondered what had happened. And I explained to him how the Lord had spoken to me, and so I said, I'm willing to go. But as it was, that was just a test from the Lord, because within a week, my husband said, you know that burden I had for New Guinea, it's just gone. And I believe God was just testing my heart. And he does that sometimes, doesn't he? And there have been 3 particular callings God has put on my life over the years. And now I believe I'm coming into a time in retirement where God is even giving me a 4th avenue of calling on my life. And so it's an exciting thing to have that call of God. You could be really praying about that as you answer those questions this week.